Welcome to the Analysis Corner. We'll be reviewing the Grimm brothers' The Moon in today's video. Please remember that this analysis is based solely on the version of the story previously shared on this channel. The meanings and interpretations that I share are not to be taken as source or research material. This is just a mental exercise that will hopefully inspire you to come up with your own conclusions. I'm going to give a summary of the story, but if you want to hear the full version, here's a link to the video. The story begins in a land where night is a blanket of darkness without any source of light. 4 travelers visiting another kingdom notice that there is a bright object casting light to the land hanging from a large oak tree. A local explains that it is called the moon. It was purchased by their mayor and regularly maintained with monetary help from the populace. The travelers decide to steal the moon and bring it home with them because it would make their lives easier. They hang it on a similarly large oak tree and collect money from their kingdom's people to fill it with fuel and keep it clean. As the travelers become older, they each demand that a quarter of the moon be buried with them when they die. Their wishes are fulfilled, and the land is once again plunged into darkness. The moon is reassembled in the underworld, waking the dead. They are confused, but end up following their same proclivities while alive, drinking, dancing, and brawling. The chaos they cause catches heaven's attention. St. Peter comes down to quell the havoc. He then hangs the moon in the sky, bringing light to everyone and restoring peace. The Grimm brothers' story, The Moon, is said to be a representation of a light in the dark. The story, after all, centers around a world where the night has no source of light, but is rather a time of complete darkness when people cannot work or travel safely. The 4 travelers who take the moon from one kingdom and bring it to their own end up bringing happiness to their people. In keeping with the theme of shining a light in the dark, this could be taken to represent changing people's lives with the spread of knowledge and enlightenment. However, this story could also be a parable about the chaos caused by greed. The story does not hide the fact that the moon belongs to another kingdom. A local who is questioned by the travelers explains that their mayor purchased the moon and the people pay him to put oil in it and keep it clean. Taken in this manner, the moon does not represent knowledge being brought to the travelers' kingdom. It was already invented and paid for. The travelers are also well aware of their actions because one of them says, "We will fetch a cart and horses and carry away the moon. The people here may buy themselves another." They know they can purchase another, but they don't. They just take this one, making it stolen property for which the travelers are taking credit. To make matters worse, the travelers make it very clear that their actions in stealing the moon are not to benefit their town or kingdom. It is solely for their own convenience, saying, "What a pleasure it would be not to have to feel about in the night in the darkness." They keep it functioning by adding fuel and cleaning it, but collect money from the townspeople to do so. They are reaping the benefits of the moon at no cost to themselves outside of the physical upkeep. In addition, they decree that they want to keep their portion and be buried with a quarter piece when they die, acting the parts of originator and benefactor for the stolen item. The saying, "You can't take it with you," becomes painfully clear as the light benefiting the town becomes dimmer with each of the thieves' deaths. The living can no longer make use of the light, and the dead, who end up with the moon in the underworld, wake up and cause chaos with light that they are not supposed to have. Heaven's interference is the only way the problems in the story can be fixed. Peace is restored by subjugating the dead and hanging the moon in the sky for everyone to share. The ills of greed and arrogance seem to lie at the heart of this story. Instead of enlightenment, the thieves brought pain and difficulties, first to the kingdom from whence they stole the moon, and then to their own country, to whose people they inflicted a nightmare of the dead coming back to life. So what's the takeaway in all this? Perhaps make sure to keep your precious items and ideas under proper guard? Or make sure you're aware of the source and motives of a seemingly bright idea before buying into it? Or maybe it comes down to the simple yet beautiful concept of sharing is caring. I hope you enjoyed this look into the Grimm brothers' The Moon. It's always a pleasure sharing different ideas and interpretations with you. Until next time, I am as always your friendly resident ghost in the library.